statement, then we'll take all the questions you have, then we'll go talk to the girls and then go into practice. So opening statement, and then if you don't mind to raise your hand.
Good morning. Thank you guys for being here. It is great turnout for a wonderful time of the year. So extremely excited as we get closer and closer to the season. It's been a long preseason, but it's been a lot of fun getting to know this group of young women, their ability to come together, work hard. And I think it's going to be a very exciting year just because of their capabilities. So, watch a lot of kids grow up right in front of our faces, just how they're maturing. And then obviously, you put together a group of young people, and it's always going to be difficult. And I think fans, media, administrations, coaches, everyone has to understand it's always going to be a process. When you're bringing a lot of people together, you don't just insert player and everything is going to be great. It's a process, and so we are learning to enjoy the process with the understanding of trying to get better each and every day. They're adapting to that, and so it's been a really fun preseason to watch them do that, and we're looking forward to just accomplishing many things that we have on our sights for this season.
We'll get started with Caroline.
Coach, we found out recently that Dom tore her ACL. She'll be out indefinitely. What kind of conversations can you have with an athlete who just, she rehabbed the ACL last year and now is unable to play again?
First and foremost, Dom is probably the team favorite. Everyone loves Dom, and Courtney Jones, our trainer, just talked about how Dom rehabbed as hard as anyone she's ever had, and she went after it, and she did everything that was asked of her, and then some. And then for this situation to happen, and it happens right in front of us, it's devastating. It really is. It's an takes emotional toll, not only just her but everybody, because she is so loved in our program. And we all knew how hard she worked to get back to this point. And so to see her go down as she did, obviously there's so many hats that come out. Yes, I'm her coach, but she's far from home. You're a father figure to her. She's family. And the most impressive thing was immediately after it happened, she had an idea of what it was. I was hoping for a hyperextension. She knew what it was. And she cried a little bit, and then after that, it was almost like she went into, okay, let's attack this mode again. And her demeanor, her reaction to it all has been so impressive to me, because she's been back out on the floor to watch practice. She's asking, what can I do? Can you give me a job on the bench? I want to stay engaged. And the way that she's handled it with a big smile, and just an understanding that she has another obstacle to attack. She didn't say woe is me, she didn't say why me, she didn't any negative emotions. She was sad in the beginning, but immediately after that she went after it. So that just shows you what type of person she is. And I love her, we all love her, and I know she's going to attack this next rehab harder than she did the last one.
When you're talking about her and losing her now, what impact does that have on your team? How does that change what you're going to do or not do?
Well, we were really getting used to what she could provide for this team, and she wasn't back 100%. She was still working her way back, probably from a confidence level. And so the blessing for us is that we do have depth at that position, and so someone else is going to have to step up and be able to produce. But I just knew she was going to bring so much to us because of her length, her tenacity. She will attack anything head on. That's just her personality, and we were going to need that kind of toughness to help us. But we have some capable young women that can step up, that can help us in her absence. And her spirit will still be there, and I know she's going to help us in a lot of different ways. But it's very unfortunate, very sad that she's not going to be able to be on the floor because she worked so hard to get back to that point.
Brad Phoenix.
Coach, the men played #1 Purdue last week in an exhibition. I just wanted to ask you, is there a chance in the future that the women might do something like that?
Absolutely. I think it's trending towards that. I think this is probably the first year you're really seeing an abundance of exhibitions like that. We had an opportunity to look into a situation. It just fell through. It was late. But it is something that we are looking forward to doing. There's just a lot of opportunities for teams to play that, and it's got so many advantages. You know, it's a financial situation sometimes for some people in some areas, but it's also really good competition with the lights on. You know, you see a lot of teams going out and playing exhibitions maybe against Division IIs and they win by 100. I don't know how much you get out of that, but I mean, I'm sure Coach Pope got a lot out of, you know, last week. I'm sure Coach Painter did too. When you can play someone of that magnitude, and it doesn't count, so you can kind of like work rotations, whatever. But when you beat the number one team, it should count. You know, you want it to count. But it will give you a great barometer of where you are, because at this time of the year, every year you just don't know where you are. You know, and like we had a close scrimmage last week. It helped us, but the lights weren't on. We didn't go through pregame routine that we normally do to get situated for the season. So I think you would probably see us do something like that next year. We'll get to work on it a lot sooner than we did this past year.
Phoenix and Mark.
Coach, I think if you were to ask me, I think one of the first game of the season could be one of the harder ones to prep for because there's no tape or anything. So do you go like to last year's film, look where players were at different schools? Like what do you do?
Yeah, and especially when you play in a team that has a new coach, whole new team. And so you dig wherever you can find some remnants of what they used to do. But the first few games are always the most difficult because you're pretty much guessing at what the team is going to do as opposed to knowing what the team is going to do. So you have to rely on your principles, your philosophies, until you can get some tape to really, you know, dive into breaking down your opponent. But they also have to, you know, they may know some of the plays we're going to run, but we have different personnel. So they have to really adapt to us as well. So this is why you play these games to get used to, you know, just a routine. And now when you get some film, you're able to adapt more. So I like the third and fourth games a lot better than I do the first and second game.
Mark and then Sierra.
Kenny, Josie Gilpin raised her shooting percentages pretty dramatically between her sophomore and junior years. Is that sustainable now that she's moving to a higher level?
We'll find out. And that was one of the things, I mean, obviously Josie brings a lot to the table. Her tenacity on defense is what really got our attention, her experience. But then the fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, she shot around 40% last year from three. And that was something that just really got our attention. And so once we get our chemistry down, we feel like that we'll start getting more and more opportunities for her. She'll get good opportunities because I think a lot of attention will be on a lot of the other players, you know, the Clara Stracks, the Tiani Keys, the Tony Morgans, so on and so forth. So I think once she really gets, you know, accustomed to doing the things that we want her to do, how we want them done, I think she'll find herself open for a lot of opportunities. And we're banking on that she's going to be able to have the same type of year percentage-wise. And if she does, you know, it's going to be a huge plus for us. And we're looking forward to that.
Sierra. And John.
Tony Morgan mentioned you having a blueprint both on and off the court. I just wanted to have your thoughts on the success of your former players, you know, Liz Kitley being able to be an assistant coach now, and then Georgia WNBA, and now Taylor Soule is on your team.
Yeah, it's more about relationships and building those relationships that will last forever. You know, it's not just a situation where they play and, you know, they leave and then it's over with. You know, you develop this bond with them, and, you know, you understand what their dreams and their goals are, and then you try to help them achieve those opportunities. And you look at Georgia's situation, and Georgia, it's pretty much a coach in training. You know, I know she wants to coach. And so it's my responsibility that I've taken on with her to be a part of her life and her journey to give her the best opportunity to do so. So we'll do that. Taylor Soule right now is with us, and she's a great commodity for us because she's done what most of these kids have done. And it really helps us because she's done what most of these kids are going through right now in the most difficult way, because Taylor Soule only played for me for 1 year. And so my experiences with Taylor Soule, they were difficult in the beginning because we were trying to get to know each other. And then once we really got locked in on what we wanted to accomplish, then she really soared, got drafted into the WNBA. She's played in the WNBA professionally. And now she's able to share some of those experiences with the kids who are playing for me for 1 year. And so, just watching them grow and morph into that, they're family. Taylor Soul gets up every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, comes to my house, and we go to church. So that's just more than a transactional. It's about relationships. And that's what we're supposed to be here to do. And I know the landscape of college athletics has taken a turn, and sometimes it is transactional, but you get into this business because you can develop relationships that are going to last for a very, very long time. And if you can be a part of a kid's journey like my coaches were for me, that's something that you want to be able to give back, and we've got opportunities, and it's right in front of us.
Can you talk about that tattoo as well?
It was so funny. It was Big Blue Madness.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Blue Madness. So, it was already a heck of a day for me. I got to sit on a panel with Tubby Smith, and we got to talk about so many things. I talked to Tubby behind the scenes. We shared stories and the similarities in our lives and what we wanted. I could have done that all day, and that was probably the highlight. And then so we're about to go out to Big Blue Madness. I'm thinking about the routine. I got this DJ thing that I had been practicing for. and Taylor comes up to me and she says, "Coach, they were giving out free tattoos, and this crazy fan got your name tattooed on their leg." And my initial reaction was like, what idiot would put their name on their leg? And before I could say it, she says, and she perks up her leg, and I'll admit it, I got chill bumps. I had tears come up because everything that she and I have been through for the last couple of years, it just kind of flashed in front of me, and it just showed me that I am making a difference in someone's life enough that we're bonded together forever. Whether she likes me or not, we're together. But it was powerful. It really was, because I know what kind of person she is. She's really finding herself, and to know that I was a big part of her journey enough that she would do something as permanent as that, it makes you feel really, really good. But I didn't call her an idiot, but I gave her a big hug. I said, "Man, that's the smartest thing. It's the best thing I've ever seen."
We'll take 3 more and then see where we're at on time. John, Larry, Caroline, and then we'll close it with Phoenix and then get out to the court.
Yeah, Kenny, I think I heard you say that this might be the tallest team that you've ever coached. This has to be fun for you. How do you anticipate utilizing that height to exploit your opponents?
We will. We will go out there and we'll play to our strength, which is our length and our height. And when I look at them and I marvel, and every time another coach comes in and watches us, they're like, "Man, you guys are huge." And I kind of look around, I'm like, "Yeah, I guess we are, aren't we?" And when you could probably start a lineup of 5'9", 6'1", 6'4", 6'5", 6'5", it's going to give you an opportunity to do some special things. And we have to rebound the ball a little bit better. Utilize that length offensively. Last year we were the best shot blocking team in the country. I think we'll be right up there again with Clara and Tiani, Amelia, all of them. And this is something that we wanted to do by design. A lot of the teams in our league are athletic, they're fast. We can combat that with our length, and we feel like we can have some mismatches in a lot of different areas. Jordan Obi is a 6'1", powerful position player that we can start her at the 2 spot, and now we can post her up against the smaller guards. If they want to put that smaller guard on Amelia, then we can post her up. And so we have so much height and length, but they're versatile. I think what you're going to see this year, Clara and we had the scrimmage the other day, and I think Clara brought the ball on the floor probably 6, 7 times. It has to be a study that you say 6 or 7 a lot, and that's where it came from, because I find myself saying it a lot. But she brought the ball down the floor several times, and Tiani did the same thing. And it's just we're going to be a versatile team. So if we have some traditionalists out there who want us to sit our 6'5" center on the block and never let them leave, you're probably watching the wrong team. You're going to see them, in multiple positions, multiple places. For me, I haven't gotten it down pat yet, where and how I'm going to utilize them, but that's why you play the game. That's why you do everything that you're doing. I think we're going to be a lot better team in December than we are in November, a lot better team in January than we are in December, and so on and so forth, because they're going to morph into a team that's very, very special.
Larry, Caroline, Phoenix.
When you open up with Morehead, are you familiar with how popular the Feldhouse name is in the state of Kentucky? And have you already decided you want to open up with Morehead again next year? Is that right?
I don't know if we are. Are we opening up? Did they say that?
Well, they did, yes.
Okay. I'm not saying they're lying. I don't know what I have to do tomorrow, so, much less who we're playing now. But I understand it. And for me, last year, it was like cramming for a test, you know, because 55 years growing up in Virginia, I knew every school in Virginia, what the rivalry meant, what it meant to play against the bigger schools. And then we had to have a crash course coming here last year and understanding the geography of Kentucky and you know, all the games and what they mean. I had no idea, you know, just the history with Western Kentucky until we played them last year. And that's something that's important to me, to get to understand that and understand the importance of playing teams in the area. I'm still working on the geography. It's so funny that, you know, people will come up to me and they say, hey, I live in such and such. And I'll say, well, how far is that from here? Like I really know where it is, but I'm learning and I understand the importance of games like that, not only for that program, but just for the state and giving them opportunities to have Kentucky teams playing against each other. So they say we're playing next year. I believe them. I just don't know exactly what our schedule is right now, but it is important for us to continue to do that.
Coach, you've got 2 freshmen on this roster. Obviously, Elsa came in a little bit later. I would imagine if I ask you, you know, what are your expectations for them? It's, well, they're freshmen.
Yeah.
But dealing with each of them, how have they acclimated, and how do each of them do in a one-on-one setting with you in that individual work?
Yeah, Elsa is obviously, you know, she's got a long ways to go. We understand that, but one thing you can't do is teach height. So I wouldn't expect her to be able to contribute for us a lot this year, but she's continuing to work and get better, and we understand that, and very, very pleased with her progress and what she's been able to do. Kaylin Carroll is a highly touted freshman, and some days she plays highly touted, and some days she plays like a freshman, and it's just it's a beautiful thing to watch though, because she's so coachable, and her parents are so supportive. Her parents came here and, you know, I was talking to them and I said, you know, there's days where I just want to just get after her because I know she can give me a little bit more. And I said, she'll give me those puppy dog eyes and I don't want to yell at her. And her dad was quickly, they're from Boston. No, you yell at her all you want to and get her there. But, you know, there's some days, you know, she'll go out and she'll light it up. She can shoot the ball exceptionally well. And then there's days you're like, okay, well, you have to learn a lot more. So she's going to be in the rotation. She's going to be able to give us some very valuable minutes. She's going to help us stretch the defense a little bit. And I love where she's going. And she's very mature. The kids love her. They kind of taking her under their wing and helping her a lot. But she's a very mature freshman in a sense where she really helps us recruit. And I just love having her around. She's fun to be around. And she's very, very coachable.
Coach, just kind of going into more about your relationship with Tubby Smith.
It's that's pretty cool. Now I have a relationship with Tubby Smith. Yeah, no, I do, and you're not taking that away from me. No, it's something that, you know, it's special to me because he was somebody that I looked to emulate early on, and there wasn't very many African American coaches that you could say, hey, I want to be like that. Obviously, John Thompson. You know, was a huge figure, but Tubby's journey, you know, it was long. He had to wait his turn. He was assistant coach at VCU for a while, which was in Virginia, and so he's just somebody that I've always admired, and not only because of you know, his coaching prowess, but you know, everything that I've ever heard about him is he's a gentleman, and everyone loves Tubby. Everyone loves Tubby, and he was a mythical figure to me. For a very long time, coming here in a year span, I got to meet Coach Cal, I got to meet Rick Pitino, all of them who are, you know, tremendous coaches. But when Tubby came in, it was a little different. I wanted to make sure I tucked my shirt in and did everything right. But just getting to know him and sit down and talk with him, have his number now, those are things that are very, very special to me because he inspired me, great inspiration. And I just hope that I can be like that to someone someday. And just swapping stories with him, sharing stories, the similarities that how we grew up. I think he has like 17 siblings. And I don't have that many, but it was just so much fun. I met him at a golf course one time, but then at Boo Boo Madness when we brought him back, that's something that I'll always remember. And just trying to be like that. If I can be half of a coach, as he was, then I think I'll have a really good career.
Will you get the tattoo?
No. no, tattoo free. Not because I don't like the ink, I just don't like the pain. So.
Cool, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
You all can follow